never quit, we always keep on going. Quitters never win, but we're always growing. Hey there, big cat, let's chase the highest vibration. Together we'll create a new world, a brand new nation.
Namaste, Big Cat Earth Signs, Grand Rising. Welcome or welcome back to Big Cat Astrology, Big Cat Wave, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, the planetary hot topics to add to your almanac over the next 7 days. On the 7th of October, the moon in Sagittarius squares Saturn in Pisces. This could manifest as obstacles to travel or learning, feeling held back by commitments, or needing to balance your adventurous spirit with practical concerns. The fixed star Fomalhaut in Pisces supports spiritual endurance, reminding you to focus on long-term growth, even if you face immediate frustrations. On the 8th, Mercury in Libra trines Jupiter in Gemini. This could mean successful meetings, social networking, or even a breakthrough in negotiations that allows both sides to feel heard and valued. The fixed star Alhern in Gemini enhances mental flexibility and diplomacy, helping you to communicate effectively and broaden your understanding of complex issues. On the 9th, Jupiter goes retrograde in Gemini. This will last until the 30th of December. This could mean putting major plans on hold, diving back into studies or research, or rethinking long-term travel or career moves. The fixed star Aldebaran in Gemini boosts your perseverance during this retrograde, helping you to use this reflected period to solidify your vision and strengthen your intellectual foundation. On the 10th, the moon in Capricorn sextiles Venus in Scorpio. This could manifest as successful discussions about joint ventures, resolving financial concerns, or strengthening bonds through emotional transparency. The fixed star Vega in Capricorn lends wisdom and clarity, allowing you to handle emotional charges successfully with a calm and strategic mindset. On the 11th, Pluto goes direct in Capricorn. Pluto will be direct in Capricorn for the last time in our lifetimes. This could mean finishing a career shift, resolving a power struggle, or solidifying changes in how you handle personal or professional responsibilities. The fixed star Altair in Capricorn provides courage and resilience, helping you face the culmination of Pluto's transformative journey with confidence and clarity. On the 12th, the moon in Aquarius trines the sun in Libra. This could manifest as working effectively with a team, finding peaceful resolutions in relationships, or forming new connections that support mutual goals. On the 13th, Mercury enters Scorpio. This transit lasts until the 27th of October. This could involve confronting difficult conversations about finances, intimacy, or long-standing issues that require honesty and resolution. The fixed star Antares in Scorpio intensifies emotional exploration, helping you feel more confident when facing difficult subjects, with bravery and a willingness to transform through communication. Please stay tuned in for the tarot reading to follow. Big Cat Wave! Namaste. Grand Rising Big Cat Earth Signs. Welcome or welcome back to Frequency Phoenix 555 for messages for your next 7 days. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, Big Cat Wave. Let's dive right in and unpack. Oh, you have the energy of a 5, darling dears. Yes, baby. The energy of the 5. It speaks about what? Conflict and confusion, darling dears, which brings about that lovely C word, which is change, darling dears. Change. You have the energy of the 1. The 1 is the first house. It's about putting yourself first, darling dears. Possibly even stepping into a leadership role. It also speaks about your health, darling dears. You've got to focus on your health at this moment in time. Okay? The first house is ruled by Aries energy. So it speaks about initiating new beginnings, darling dears. Okay. We've also got the energy of the 4. The energy of the 4 is the 4th house. The 4th house is Cancer, moon energy, darling dears. So it speaks about things that you do behind closed doors. It speaks about your family, your childhood home, your current home. It's about land, your personal foundations, your inner emotional security, your roots, ancestors, things leading up to the grave, retirement. Yes, and it also speaks about someone being in competition with you at this moment in time. We have another 1 on top. So with the energy of the 1 says that you have a major decision to make, darling dears. Do not, I repeat, do not make that decision until after the next new moon. Usually I put up the information of when it's going to be, but Big Cat, it's time where you start doing the research, darling dears. Find out when the next new moon is going to be so you can follow the moon cycle. So when your sun sign is in your moon sign, that's when you do your fasting. This is where you're able to tap into your Christos oil, darling dears. Yes, baby. Rising up the Kundalini and all of that. Anyhow, as I was saying, you also have the energy of the 5. The energy of the 5 is telling me that somebody feels threatened by some kind of secure foundation that you have created for yourself, darling dears. They're proper upset. Hey, good for them. That's their business, blood. The energy of the 4 also speaks about communication. There's going to be a lot of communication going on in your life over the next 7 days. It could be meetings, visits, phone calls, emails, snail mail. All forms of communication is going to be proper lively for you over the next 7 days. The energy of the 4 also speaks about someone or something coming into your life, which is going to have a profound effect on your life. For others, this could also speak about you moving towards a love affair. So, according to the low shoe grid, we've got the direction is north, south, east and west is 100% covered, darling dears. So either you'll be making information go out or it's going to be coming towards you. The energy of the 5, according to the low shoe grid, this is your sweet spot, darling dears. Your center of good fortune, blood. Yeah. Pum pum. Yeah. It's earth energy, darling dears, and it's the colors of yellow and earth tones. These are what you should be rocking over the next 7 days, darling dears. Oh, I love it. I don't hate it. All right. The energy of the 5 itself. Lean in, bestie. Lean in. You could be a life path 5, or the numbers 5, 14 or 23 will be in your hemisphere over the next 7 days. The number 5 rules the letters E, N and W. It also rules Mercury. Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo, darling dears, and the letters E, H, N and X. So the Gemini and the Virgo energy. Gemini is about communication, darling dears. As I said, go in and come in. You're going to be making short trips, darling dears. It's also something to do with possibly your siblings, darling dears. going to be coming up, siblings or something to do with your community. Maybe you're having issues with a neighbor. All these things are going to be going on over the next 7 days. The Virgo element is about your health, darling dears. Your health is your wealth. Make sure that if you've got appointments, that you keep these appointments, darling dears, so you can know what's going on, so you can make the right choices for you. And as I said, you have a major decision to make after the next new moon. The energy of the 5 tells me that you are a natural explorer. You're a free spirit, darling dears, a pioneer. Your luckiest numbers will be the 1, 5, and 7. Your luckiest days will be Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. The number 5 is ruled by the astrological aspect of a quincunx. This speaks about you having gone through a stressful situation. It was proper tight round there, blood. Proper tight. But this stressful situation is now leading to the change. Again, we come back to the 5. Change is most definitely afoot. This phase that you was going through, darling dears, it's one well and truly over. The energy of the 5 tells me that it was a life lesson that you had to learn. It speaks of your resourcefulness. It speaks of the constructive freedom that you've now created for yourself. And as I said, travel is definitely going to be on your tableau over the next 7 days. People born with a life path 5, darling dears, they're the beautiful ones, darling dears. Yes, they are the beautiful ones, beautiful of face, nature, and all of that, darling dears. Okay. Or you are embodying it over the next 7 days. Remember, you utilize the energies that are available to you. And if it means that your looks are going up, why not, darling dears? Why not? But remember, somebody's going into a love affair. Make sure you do your research, darling dears. I research. Listen, give me a chart and I'm on it. What do you mean? Let me find out whom your Chinese zodiac animal is, darling dears. See if it's an enemy of mine. Because I'm telling you, it will all come out in the wash. Better to be forewarned and forearmed. Okay. The energy of the 5, according to the 48 laws of power, speaks about what? Guarding your reputation, blood. Guard your reputation. Your integrity, your word is your bond, darling dears. Guard your reputation. And if you hang with 4 bottom feeders, guess who's gonna be number 5? According to the runestones, the energy of the 5 is representative of radio, which is the chariot energy, darling dears. So again, it speaks about the travel, and it would also speak into somebody relocating over the next 7 days. It speaks about the endurance. You are being your own inner warrior, darling dears. It tells me that you are extremely determined. Somebody's also getting a car, but it's definitely an upgrade in your status over the next 7 days, darling dears. I love it. I don't hate it. Yeah, definitely more in control and being more decisive of the directions that you're going to be taking. Okay. All right. The energy of Mercury speaks about you are utilizing your skills. Mercury is about the communication, but it also speaks about the information, what you have coming towards you, darling dear, so you'll be able to make informed decisions. It tells me that you are quick-witted. You're making some kind of judgment call on a situation at this moment, darling dears. It also speaks about the learning that you've acquired or you continue to learn, darling dears. Listen, nothing like learning new things. Anybody, baby, best friend, oi, if you meet someone and they look you in your eye chakra and tell you that they know everything, you better what? Arch your back like Tinky Winky and run in the other direction. Why? It take one fool to make many fools. No one knows everything except the Most High. Right. Let's press on. Let's press on. The energy of the 5, darling dears. Lean in, bestie, is ruled by the Hierophant. The tarot card, the Hierophant, okay? The timing for the Hierophant says, whatever's going on in your life, darling dears, you're going to see the truth of whatever you're doing. It's going to culminate around the 20th of April and the 20th of May. So whatever you've been working towards, remember, you have the energy of the Chariot and the Hierophant. The Hierophant speaks into what? Maybe you've gone into formal training. It also speaks about you being extremely unique, darling dears. Okay. The energy of the 5, the Hierophant energy, is also the second house. The second house of what? Skrilla.com, darling dears. You're utilizing some kind of a talent, darling dears. This is what has helped you rebuild your self-worth. Fabulous, gorgeous, and lovely. Something to do with investments, securities, online. It could also speak about entrepreneurialism. Okay, it's all good in your hood. On the side, you've got another 6, darling dears. So we've got 2 6s on the tableau, darling dears. And that means what? Contradictions, darling dears. You're going to see contradictions coming up, so pay attention of the intel coming towards you. Pardon me, that was a spiritual belch because I speaks the truth. Roof. Fist bump. Okay. Have I finished with this? Do we need to press on? Do we need to press on? We're pressing on, guys. We're pressing on. All right. Sorry, I'm scratching my head. Yeah. Okay, so we've got some not liking the security that you're making for yourself. Let's get a deck. I'm going to go with the black cards. Still whole. Okay, someone not liking the foundation of security that you're building for yourself. Imagine that. That's a lot of cards that fell off, mate. That's a lot of cards. The cards are playing with me. Come on. Thank you. Yeah, whatever they're sending your way, darling, is it's return to sender. Baby, when you're returning it to the sender, make sure you lock and bind it and you release it. Why? Because you are a sentient being. And you claim the energy around you, darling dears. You let this energy know that what? It's not welcome here. It has no place here and it must leave. Remember, I told you that. So someone wishing bad things on you, darling dears. Bad things. This person is an opportunist. So a full-on homosexual, darling dears. A frenemy in disguise. Okay. Someone else opportunist. Yeah, pay attention to the messages and the signs, darling dears. You're going to be hearing about this person over the next 7 days. Remember, I told you that. You've also got magician energy, as above, so below. It also speaks about you having all of the tools, darling dears. The magician is Mercury and air energy, darling dears. I love it. I don't hate it, right? The timing of the magician is within the next week. Remember, I told you that. You're going to hear about someone from the past that's been sending this negative energy. Why? Because they feel threatened about what you're building for yourself. You know how you mind your own business and work on you? Yeah, they don't like it. They don't like it. The magician energy again tells me that you have the knowledge and the intellect to manifest whatever you want. The ball is in your court, darling dears. Pay attention to your intuition and your discernment. Magician energy again speaks about travel. It speaks about siblings, extended family members, aunts, nephews, nieces. Yeah, they are all opportunists, and you need to call the popo, darling dears. Maybe you will have to call the popo on them. Maybe somebody might try to re-enter your life, and they have to realize that, you know what, you don't want to see them. Call the police, darling dears. Call the police. And it also speaks about protecting yourself. If you don't know how to protect yourself, go and watch my Don't Get Smoked video. I'm wearing a denim jumpsuit. I teach you light kung fu and self-defense. I kid you not. Right? Yeah, this person is a tree sloth and a tart. I don't know any... Well, back in the day, I knew many a tart, darling dears. Many a tart and tree sloth. But not now. Okay, let's get your oracle ancestral message. fell off the back end. Awakening, darling dears, being more alert. Love it. I don't hate it. Whenever we see the purple chakra, darling dears, lean in, bestie. Lean in. It reminds you of what? Your third eye, darling dears, Jupiter energy. Play the frequency 852 at nighttime, darling dears, so that you can see. It speaks about your psychic abilities, darling dears, your intuition. It's on point at this moment in time, so you have to pay attention to the signs and the signals. You're going to be getting a lot of divine insight over the next 7 days. We also have the energy of the yellow, darling dears, the solar plexus. Okay, this is Mars energy, darling dears. So it's about your self-esteem, your confidence. You're raising your confidence, or it's being raised by whatever it is that you've been doing in your hemisphere, darling dears. Being more in your personal power. Okay, this is a new beginning for you, darling dears. And we have a couple here. Yeah, somebody's definitely going into coupledom, darling dears. Or they'll be working with the energy, darling dears. Working with the energy. Somebody's also in their shadow side. Did not hear the wicked ascending your wickedness. Let me get one more from the wicked. Let's get a deck that I haven't used in a while. Let me see. Look, I'm saying that I've got so many decks in front of me, right? Let me stand up and get a bird's eye view so I can drop down and get my eagle on. Got so many decks in front of me, but it's not the one that I was looking for. And you know what? The one that I'm looking for, I don't know what it is until I find it. The devil is a lie. And that wasn't even what I was looking for, but I'm deciding to use this one because I found it. How about that? Don't ask me about the logic of that, please. 2 cards came out, darling dears. Animal guardian. Trust your instincts, darling dears, your intuitions. Didn't I just tell you that? Listen to yourself. This person is again. All right. She's got the lamb, so it's for a new beginning. We've got the owl for your wisdom, and we've also got a new moon at your back, darling dear. So the next new moon is when you make this decision, right? And we've got the hunter. Track down your fears and desires, darling dears. You are no longer the prey, you are the hunter. You are standing in front of an archway. This is telling me that there's an opening for you, darling dears. It's lovely. This opening is about you being admitted into something. It also speaks about opportunities that are being granted just for you over the next 7 days. Definitely a transition period, going from one position to another. Okay, trusting your instincts. Base of the deck, darling dears. Trust the higher forces, and again, listen to your higher self. You'll have a lot of communication. Remember, Jupiter energy. Third eye energy. I see. Pay attention, darling dears. Pay attention. So definitely a decision, a new beginning, an awakening, a new beginning. Possibly the leaving of a circumstance or a situation, darling dears. Yeah. The police, maybe you work for the police, darling dears, or something associated with the police. But it's the letting go of one thing and going into another. Let's get a deck. To the decks. Base of your deck. Yeah, 11-11 fade, darling dears. You're going to be going out, partying, celebrating. Yeah, a reason to celebrate. I love it. I don't hate it. This also speaks about a relationship, a stable relationship coming towards you, or you are in a stable relationship. This card is a whole blessing. Remember, I told you that. An 11-11 fade. Somebody's also going to be celebrating some kind of milestone over the next 7 days. Okay, this is also the offset of a season of stability. Okay, embrace this moment of happiness that's coming towards you, darling dears. This is what we live for, the happy moments. And there are many when you choose to what? Let go of what no longer serves you. Okay. As far as your friendships are concerned, darling dears, somebody's being left out in the cold. 5 of Pentacles, you're giving them the full-on Easter Island and Stevie Wonder. Yeah, this is someone that you've been thinking about for some time, or they've been on your thoughts, darling dears. If you've been thinking about people from the past, darling dears, you're going to leave them where they are. These are people that are going through their own level of cursation, dysfunctional to the core, living out cycles over and over again. We've got Chariot energy. You did the right thing, listening to your higher mind, getting yourself up from under situations that had you trapped for a long time. It was situations that was affecting your physical health, your mental health, darling dears. You was blind in many a situation, or you had them rose-colored glasses on, but guess what? You've turned into Speedy Gonzales. No time for the rose-colored glasses, darling dears. We've got Emperor energy. This could be you, or it could be a partner coming towards you, or a father energy that's around you. Underneath the Five of Pentacles, this is not a good dad, darling dears. This is not a good person, darling dears. Tell me something more about the Emperor. Yeah. Knight of Swords. Somebody's also going to be signing a contract over the next 7 days, darling dears. Okay, you don't actually see it coming, but it's going to be in your favor. Yeah. After going through an abusive time, listen. You're going to be signing this contract. It goes to Four of Swords. You're going to get some kind of healing, some kind of release. The energy of the Four again is the 4th house. As I said, somebody's retiring. Okay, things that you do behind closed doors. Yeah. You also have an offer coming towards you. Emperor energy could be from an emperor. This could also speak about you stepping into a leadership role, or an emperor offering you a role, a new job. Moon energy. There's a lot of fake energy behind you, darling dears, that you're leaving behind. Yeah, you have to become the King of Swords. You have to gather your intel. It tells me about you getting over some kind of heartbreak. This heartbreak has been on you, darling dears, for some time. But you are most definitely getting over it. People from the past would like to come back, but disappoint them blood clot. Yes, baby. Where's my shiz naive? Disappoint them blood clot. Point A and point B. Why? To invite them back in would be straight in dummy back territory. Law number 10 of the 48 laws of power. What the hell do they want? Wickedness, darling dears. Disappoint them. Yeah, they're looking like a whole dumbass. Yeah. Let's get the tiny cards involved. Base of the deck, we have the 1111 fade. So this is definitely going on some kind of party and celebration. Somebody reaching a milestone. Yeah. And look what fell out. the death card. This is the 8th house, darling dears. The money house, the new beginning. It's also a house that is highly spiritual. It fell on the hunter. You are the hunter gatherer. Remember, I told you that. 8th house is money coming towards you. It could be from because it's seen as the marriage house, but it's also married money from an employer being paid to you, taxes, insurance, retirement money. Listen, big business is going on for you at this moment in time, and you have a foot in both worlds, darling dears. It also speaks about your ancestral protection at this moment in time. Yeah, look at this. Animal guardian, trust your instincts. You definitely have a male or a female coming towards you, darling dears, because you know gender is fluid. This person is about that life, darling dears, coming to offer. Yeah, because you moved on from situations that kept you stuck for a very long time, but that time is now over. Trust and believe. What fell on the Emperor? What did I say? If this was a father or mother of your child, you're releasing that burden. I think you've cried many tears on this situation, darling dears. But it's about you coming to a level of peace, facing your own shadow. Underneath, we've got guidance, tarot cards. Somebody's getting readings on you at this moment in time, darling dears. Yes. We've got the Knight of Swords, 2 different decks. When we see the duality of a 2, darling dears, lean in, bestie. This means a parting of the ways. Yeah, you left someone behind, darling dears, because they were the devil's most diligent worker. This person's got addictions. They've got a lot of addictive behaviors, extremely codependent. Look, you've moved on from a situation. So you finally put down a situation, and you was being guided by your ancestral team. And you have all of them tools. Magician energy. We was just talking about the magician, darling dears. 2 different decks. And again, the duality, a parting of ways, but it was a necessary parting. I'm getting the feeling that You're getting over something, darling dears. But I'm feeling it was a karmic lesson that you're getting over. Okay? And the most serious talk you had in this whole thing was the one that you had to yourself. But in releasing that, darling dears, everything that you wasn't getting before is going to be poured into your life. Because you have to also remember, we've got the Pluto is still retrograde in Capricorn until the 11th of October, darling dears. So a lot of principalities, a lot of changing. This is going to be, when it goes direct from the 11th, this is shifts in your employment, darling dears. Maybe it's an upgrade in your career. It could be you go into retirement. The money's on the table, darling dears, and it's definitely coming towards you. And as the hunter, you choose your targets wisely, darling dears. So whatever you're doing fabulous, gorgeous, and lovely. Yeah, 9 of Wands. This is someone guarded, vigilant, inside the house, scared of everything, darling dears. This is the wounded warrior. But, bestie, in the reverse, it tells me that there was a lot of betrayal in a situation, darling dears. Lots of people with unstable personalities. Listen, these people coming around with their personality disorders, blood, they need to stay where they are. In that situation, you was overburdened, darling dears. In the reverse, it also speaks about if it was a relationship that you was previously in, that you've now finally gotten over mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, everything, all of the above, right? There was violence in that situation. Yeah, they was delivering a two-piece, and not from the KFC, darling dears. This is definitely an ending once and for all, drawing a line under a relationship. It's going to be no more. Remember I told you that. This person or people brought you to the point of burnout, darling dears. Let's get one final card from here before we move on. Yeah, you gain this new perspective. You've given back the wood. No longer sacrificing yourself to situations that are not for you, darling dears. This is a new level of what? Awakening, enlightenment, darling dears. Realizing that this game of life, none of us are getting out of it alive, darling dears. Realizing that you only have one life. The Hangman is water, Neptune energy, darling dears. Okay. It speaks about your spiritual development, darling dears. You paying attention to your psychic gifts. This is you continuing to be continue to be disciplined, darling dears. Again, Hangman also represents the police. You may have to call the police, 2 different decks, on this person that's trying to come back. I don't know, trying to interfere. I don't know. They're doing something, darling dears. But it's the new perspective that you gain. You realize that you've let go of all control of that situation. That is what you had to let go. And you had to let go of it in your mind. You can't control nobody but yourself. You can do that with children for a little while. You know what I mean? But never forever. No. You're taking your everything back, darling dears. Remember I told you that. It's the awakening of you. The different perspective. And know that you are being blessed at this moment in time. Let's get one final card. We're going to go with Kipper. Final card. Listen. The snake eyes. The snake. What did I tell you about them gossipers? Right? They're going to talk about, listen, whatever you're doing now, darling dears, they're going to be talking about it forever. But never to your face, darling dears, at your back, in the rear view mirror. Remember, I told you that. You're going towards great fortune, and fortune comes in many ways, darling dears. The company of true soul tribe friends, a true lover, darling dears. Information. The 2 and the 8 is what? Guaranteed. 2 and the 6 is guaranteed money. I told you the 8th house is the house of money, darling dears. Money coming towards you. Assets coming towards you. Remember, I told you that. Yeah, lovers making the right choices, and someone, as I said, is going into a union over the next 7 days. But like I said, always research. Don't just go in willy-nilly. On that note, I drops me mic to love to my Teesprings, my Patreon, or my TikToks, where I also upload videos. please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Share these messages or massages with whomsoever you feel needs it. And as I always say, don't get smoked. Don't forget to leave a comment, darling dears, because it's a survival kit for another big cat. And don't smoke yourself. From the ashes, baby. Namaste. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, big cat wave. Until we meet again on these tarot streets. Cat, 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 cat.